1. Every action carried out in company must be done with some sign of respect to those present. 2. When accompanied, do not put your hands on any part of the body where it is usually not common. 3. Don't show your friend anything that can scare him. 4. In the presence of others, do not sing yourself with a hum, or drum with your fingers or feet. 5. If you cough, sneeze, sigh or yawn, do it privately, and don't talk while yawning. Use the handkerchief or hand and turn your face sideways. 6. Do not sleep when others speak. You do not feel when others are standing. Do not speak at times where you must maintain serenity. Do not walk if others stop. 7. Do not take off your clothes in the presence of others, or leave your bedroom half-dressed. 8. In the game and attire, use good manners and try not to speak louder than normal so as not to affect others. 9. Do not spit in the fire, or bend over to touch it. Do not put your hands in the fire to warm yourself, or place your feet on the fire, especially if there will be meat before that. 10. When you sit down, keep your feet firm without putting one on top of another or crossing them. 11. Do not change in front of others, or bite your nails. 12. Do not shake the head, feet or legs. Don't roll your eyes. Do not raise one eyebrow higher than the other in an ironic way, and do not spit in the face of anyone with your saliva to get too close when speaking. 13. Do not kill bugs, fleas, lice, ticks or other insects in front of others. If you see any dirt or thick saliva on the ground, put your foot deftly on it. 14. Do not turn your back on others, especially when speaking. Do not run to the table or to the desk where another reads or writes. Do not lean on anyone. 15. Keep your nails clean and short, also clean hands and teeth, but without showing great concern for them. 16. Do not inflate the cheeks. Do not stick your tongue out with your hands or beard. Do not push out your lips or bites. Do not keep your lips too open or too closed. 17. Do not be a flatterer, or play with anyone with whom you have not liked each other. 18. Do not read any letter, books or papers when accompanied, but when there is a need to do so, ask permission to leave. Do not approach someone's books or writings just out of curiosity to read them, and do not think if they have not asked for it. Also, don't look at what someone else is writing. 19. Let your face be pleasant, but in serious matters, let it be solemn. 20. Body gestures must be adequate for the speech you give. 21. Do not claim the weaknesses of nature to anyone, nor delight those who take them into account. 22. Do not be happy with the misfortune of the other, even if it is your enemy. 23. When you see that a crime is punished, you may feel pleased inside, but always show mercy to the offender and suffering. 24. Don't laugh too much or too loudly at any public show. 25. Superfluous praise and any involvement of ceremonies should be avoided, however, where appropriate, they should not be neglected. 26. When taking off your hat before distinguished people, such as nobles, judges, ecclesiastics, etc., bowing more or less according to the custom of the best quality of people. Among your peers do not always expect to start with you, and take off your hat when there is no need can affect. When you greet with the body and greet with words, keep the usual habit. 27. He who is in a hurry to put on his hat is not doing well, however, you must wear it the first time, or at most the second time it has been requested. Ceremonies without limits are problematic, that is why in behavior you should greet, take the place and sit down. 28. If someone comes to talk to you while you are sitting, stand up, even though it is your inferior, and when you offer seats, let it be for everyone according to their grade. 29. When you meet someone of a greater degree than you, stand and retreat, especially if you are at a door or any straight place, to make your way. 30. When walking, the highest hierarchical place in most countries seems to be on the right side, therefore, place yourself to the left of the one you wish to honor. But if three walk together, the middle place is the most honorable, the wall is given to the most worthy if two walk together. 31. If someone who far exceeds others, whether of age, status or merit, comes to offer his place to one of lower rank than himself in his own accommodation or elsewhere, he should not be rejected. On the other hand, you should not use much fervor to offer it once or twice. 32. To whomever you are equal, or not very inferior, you must offer the main place in your accommodation, and the one to whom it is offered must reject it first and then, secondly, accept, although not without recognizing its own unworthiness. 33. Worthy persons have precedence in all places, but while they are young, they must respect their peers at birth or other qualities, even though they have no public office. 34. It is polite to prefer those who speak to them rather than ourselves, especially if they are above us, and in no way should we start talking to them. 35. Let your conversation with businessmen be short and complete. 36. Low-grade artisans and people should not do many ceremonies to high-grade people, rather than respect and honor them, and high-grade people should treat them with kindness and courtesy, without arrogance. 37. When talking to quality people, do not lean or look directly at their faces, or get too close to their right side. Keep a space about them. 38. When visiting the sick, do not play the doctor if you do not know what they have. 39. When writing or speaking, give each person their due according to their degree and the custom of the place. 40. Don't fight with your superior in an argument, but always present your judgment to others with modesty. 41. Do not teach yourself the art of their profession, that indicates arrogance. 42. Let your courtesy ceremonies be appropriate to the dignity of the person with whom you talk, because it is absurd to act in the same way with a clown as with a prince. 43. Do not express joy in front of someone who is sick with pain, since that passion will aggravate their misery. 44. When a man does his best, and success does not happen, do not blame him. 45. Before advising or reprimanding anyone, consider whether it should be in public or private, and at that time or in some other, under what conditions you should do it, and not with the desire to reprove him but with all sweetness and softness. 46. Be grateful for all warnings, at any time or place where they occur, but after not being guilty, take a convenient time and place to let the other person know what he gave you. 47. Do not joke or make fun of anything of importance. Do not make jokes that are sharp, penetrating, and if you comment on something witty and pleasant, refrain from laughing at it yourself. 48. When you reprove another, be blameless, for the example is more important than the precepts. 49. Do not use reproachful language against anyone, or curse, or injury. 50. Do not rush to believe the reports that fly about the denigration of anyone. 51. Do not use broken or dusty clothes. Brush your clothes once a day and take care that you are not exposed to any filth. 52. In your clothes show modesty and strive to accommodate nature, instead of seeking admiration. Keep your peers fashionable, as they are civilians, with respect to time and places. 53. Do not run in the streets, or go too slow, or with your mouth open. Don't go waving your arms, or your fingers, or kick the earth with your feet, or in a dance show. 54. Do not play the peacock, looking everywhere to see if you are well presented, if your shoes fit well, if your socks sit perfectly or your clothes are appropriate. 55. Do not eat in the street, or at home, food out of season. 56. Partner with people of good quality if you estimate your own reputation, better to be alone than in bad company. 57. Walking up and down in a house, when accompanied, if the companion has more grade than you, first give him the right and do not stop until he does and you are not the first to turn, and when you turn it with your face towards the companion, if he is a person of great quality, do not walk beside him, but a little behind him, so that it is easy for him to address you. 58. Avoid that your conversation has malice or envy, because this is a sign of docile and commendable character, and in all causes of passion, allows reason to govern. 59. Never express anything improper, or act against the moral rules before your inferiors. 60. Don't be modest to urge your friends to discover a secret. 61. Try not to speak frivolous things among intellectuals, do not touch complex issues or ask difficult questions among the ignorant, or that are difficult to believe, do not fill your speech with prayers among your superiors or equals. 62. Do not talk about grieving things in a moment of joy or at the table, don't talk about sad things like death and wounds, and if others mention them, change, if possible, speech. Do not tell your dreams more than your intimate friend. 63. A man should not value himself for his achievements or rare qualities of ingenuity, much less for its wealth, virtue or related things. 64. Do not make a joke where there is no pleasure of joy, laughs, not out loud, or not at all for no reason, don't make fun of anyone's misfortune, even if there seems to be a cause. 65. Do not speak harmful words, jokingly or seriously, do not make fun of anyone, even if it happens. 66. Do not be perverse but kind and courteous, be the first to greet, listen and respond, and don't be thoughtful when it's a time to talk. 67. Do not be detrimental to others, nor be excessive in command. 68. Do not go where you do not know if you will be welcome or not, do not give advice without being asked, and when you want, do it briefly. 69. If there are two who agree, do not take part, and do not be obstinate in your own opinion. In indifferent things, stay on the side of the majority. 70. Do not rebuke the imperfections of others because that belongs to parents, teachers and superiors. 71. Do not look at the marks or imperfections of others and do not ask how they appeared. What you can talk in secret with your friend, do not tell others. 72. Do not speak in an unknown language when accompanied, but in your own language, as the quality men do and not as the vulgar. Sublime matters are treated seriously. 73. Think before you speak, pronounce perfectly, do not pronounce your words with too much rainfall, but neatly and clearly. 74. When someone speaks, pay attention and do not disturb the audience. If anyone doubts your words, help him only if he asks for help. Do not interrupt or respond until your speech is over. 75. In the middle of the speech, do not interrupt to ask what it is, but if you perceive any pause because of your approach, it is correct to ask the other gently to proceed. If a quality person approaches while you are talking, it is polite to repeat what was said before. 76. While you're talking, don't point your finger at the one you're talking to, or get too close, especially to his face. 77. Treat business with men at the right times for it, and don't whisper in the company of others. 78. Do not make comparisons, and if any of the companions is praised for any brave or virtuous act, do not congratulate another for the same. 79. Don't tell news if you don't know if it's true. As for discussing the things you have heard, keep your author secret. It is always a secret that should not be discovered. 80. Don't be bored in speech or reading, unless you find your companion pleased with it. 81. Do not be curious to know the affairs of others, or approach those who speak in private. 82. Do not promise what you cannot do, and be careful to keep your promise. 83. When asking a question, do it without passion and with discretion, and make the person notice. 84. When your superiors speak, do not speak, or laugh. 85. In the company of those of higher rank than you, do not speak until you are asked, then stand up, remove your hat and answer in a few words. 86. In disputes, do not be willing to be right to the point of not giving everyone freedom to express their opinion and submit to the judgment of the majority, especially if they are judges of the dispute. 87. Let your countenance be such that it becomes a grave, seated and attentive to what is spoken. Do not contradict every time what others say. 88. Don't be bored in speech that does not have many digressions, or often repeat the same type of speech. 89. Do not speak ill of the absent, because it is unfair. 90. When facing a plate of meat, do not scratch or spit, cough or blow your nose, unless there is a need for it. 91. Do not show great pleasure in front of your victuals. Do not feed greedily. Eat your bread with a knife. Do not lean on the table, or look for any flaw in what you eat. 92. Do not use the salt or cut the bread with a greasy knife. 93. It is decent to entertain anyone at the table to present the meat. However, do not help those who are unwanted by the host. 94. If you dip the bread in the sauce, take care that it is not more than what you put in your mouth every time, and do not blow the broth on the table, but wait until it cools on its own. 95. Do not bring the meat to your mouth with the knife in your hand, or spit the seeds of any fruitcake on a plate, or throw anything under the table. 96. Keep your fingers clean, and when necessary, clean them in a corner of the napkin. 97. Do not put another bite in your mouth until the previous one has been swallowed. Don't let your snacks be too big for the double chin. 98. Do not drink or speak with your mouth full, or look around while you are drinking. 99. Do not drink too slowly, or with too much rainfall. Before and after drinking, clean your lips. Do not breathe at that time or later with too much noise, because it is uncivilized. 100. Do not clean your teeth with the tablecloth, napkin, fork or knife, but if others do, use a toothpick. 101. Rinse your mouth, but not in the presence of others. 102. Calling companions to eat often is out of use. You also don't need others to drink every time you drink. 103. In the company of your superiors, take no more than them to eat. Do not extend your arm, but only your hand on the table. 104. It is up to the senior to deploy the napkin and eat the meat first. But he should then start on time and dispatch others with skill so that even the slowest has enough time. 105. Do not get angry at the table despite what happens, and if you have a reason to be, show it but in a friendly way, especially if there are strangers, since good humor can turn a dish into a meat feast. 106. Do not place yourself at the top of the table, just be your home, or the owner of the house wants it that way. Do not fight for the place, so you do not disturb the companions. 107. If others speak at the table, be attentive, but do not speak when you have meat in your mouth. 108. When you talk about God or his attributes, do it seriously and with reverence. Honor and obey your natural parents, even if they are poor. 109. Let your recreations be productive, not sinful. 110. Work to keep that little spark of heavenly fire called consciousness alive in your chest.